What's up, everybody? It's Soren Baker here on Best Albums, and today we are joined by FaceShawn straight out of Portland. Thank you for coming through, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man, and today we're going to really examine and look at the Click, man, Down and Dirty, 1993. And we're talking about the album that came out before they were signed to Jive.
Before Jive.
Before they were signed to Jive. So here with the Click, we had E40, D-Shot, Be Legit, and Sugar T.
Yeah.
So for you, getting familiar with the album and learning about it and everything, what did you take from each rapper when you were first studying the album?
What I took from each rapper, well, from E40, you know, he came out with a style that nobody in the world had at the time. Like, he had his own unique style. And it was mob music. It was mob music, and it was fresh music. Like, it took off like wildfire when they came out in '93.
Absolutely.
And I was a kid then, but I can remember it like yesterday.
And then what did Be Legit, do you think, add to the album?
Be Legit was like, he was the smooth, he had that slow, smooth flow. You know what I mean? Like, he brought the smooth part out of it. Like that I gotta listen to him.
And then D-Shot?
D-Shot was like a boss. Like, he didn't really rap as much, but he was a boss. And then Sugar T, she was like a dope female rapper. So like, you didn't, growing up, you didn't have a lot of dope female rappers from the West Coast. You had a couple, and she was a dope female rapper.
Yeah, and she, like Yo-Yo early on, was a part of this crew and this affiliation, and she added kind of like that gangster touch from the female perspective.
Yeah.
But like Yo-Yo, she wasn't, like a lot of the female rappers at the time, they weren't overtly sexual.
Right.
Even though, the Porno Star and all those records are on the record.
On the album, yeah.
But Sugar T didn't make that part of her, part of her game. But speaking of the game, let's get into Mr. Flamboyant, because that's probably the most famous song from the album. For you, what did that song mean to you?
Well, when I was young when it came out, I asked somebody, like, what does flamboyant mean? They said it means being boisterous and like a Dapper Dan, and I was like, man. So I kind of understood what it meant, but like the catchy part, the part that really caught me is when he named all the cities.
Right.
He was
going through.
Yeah, when he was naming all the cities, and I was waiting for Portland, but it never came up. But I still love that song. That's like one of my favorite songs, man. It's one of my favorite songs.
And as he was doing, he really obviously put Vallejo on the map, because,
most definitely.
At this point, Short had already been out and done so well from Oakland. We'd already seen like the Digital Undergrounds and different people from the Bay Area in Paris, but we hadn't really seen the Vallejo sound and the mob music.
Right.
So sonically, with Down and Dirty, what do you think was so special about it?
I'm gonna be all the way real, man. I feel like what was different about that from like all the other people in the Bay was that sound that E40 brought to the table, man. And I I don't want to exclude anybody else.
Right.
And in the production, it was like a new sound to me. Like, like my cousin had the tape. It was a tape, and it wasn't even a full album out. He had a tape, and everybody was copying it, and it just blew up in Portland overnight. And it was the sound of E40, that Mr. Flamboyant, that it was his sound. It was a new sound with mob music, It was E40. I'm gonna be all the way honest. E40, you did that.
Yeah. Now I know on Down and Dirty, you got like 5 or 6 other tracks that really stand out to you. So what's another one that?
Street Life. I mean, I listen to that when I'm on the highway driving from Portland to California. I listen to Street Life like 10 times, and my little homie's like, man, you an old dude, man. I'm like, man, this is a classic,
And what was it about Street Life lyrically that really connects with you?
When he talked about, and it wasn't even E40. It was another dude on the track. I can't remember who it was. I'm bagging them up, busting them down quickly, because I got 5 brothers waiting on me at Thrifties. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, that's like, it depict the lifestyle that I grew up around. And I wasn't all the way in it back then, so it depict the lifestyle I grew up around. And it was like, it was it.
Okay.
That was it. That was like, it made you visualize everything that was going on in the street life.
Yeah.
And the hook too, the sample. I love the sample, man. It was dope.
And speaking of that, you had a Tired of Getting Stepped On as well.
Tired of Getting Stepped On. It's crazy because I did some time, and E40 said, what did he say? Vacaville up there by Reno, and I did some time over by Reno, and it's crazy, man. Like, but all 3 verses on that song was dope. That was, I'm tired of being stepped on, with just anybody who's going through struggle, they can feel that. You know what I mean? They can feel it, eating top ramen noodles. Yeah. I mean, we grew up off that, man, you know? And the police messing with you and Be Legit's verse, pulling up. I mean, I seen that happen every day in my neighborhood growing up. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was, to me, that's like something anybody who went through a struggle can feel. It was a struggle song. You know, I love, that's like my favorite song. For real, for real.
Right, and I think too that as we're discussing it, we're seeing that the great thing about this album, like a lot of other landmark albums, is like even like Wu-Tang, Enter the Wu-Tang, which also came out in 1993, it really presented and showed like these different facets of the different artists. Right. You know, you got the different vibes from each one of them, and they really stood on their own, and they all were able to launch successful solo careers.
Yeah, solo careers. I had all the albums. I bought all you guys. Sugar T, I bought yours too.
Yeah.
For real, for real.
Yeah,
I bought
man.
all the albums.
And I think that that's one of the great things about it, is to show that, you know, with Down and Dirty, the Click really established what was going on, and obviously E40 blew up, of course, the most, and still he and Be Legit in particular are still like putting the slumpers out.
Yeah. But I feel like they gave the West Coast an extra push after like the NWAs, and you know, because in early 90s, music was trying to find itself, and it's like 90, 91, 92, and 93, a lot of good people came out the East and West Coast.
Right.
Music was kind of like all over the place.
Yeah, so for you, looking back, what do you think, you know, what's the main things that Down and Dirty did to make it a best album?
I believe the production, man. I want to say Studio Tone was probably their producer, because I remember they came to Portland, and I took the bus probably like from 20 miles away, man. They was like there at One Stop Records. Man, I flew there. I got a picture with E40, and I thought I was gonna always save that picture, and I lost it, man. I always wanted to save that picture, man. And it's crazy. They had on flannels and khakis. Okay. And I remember they was big dudes, and Studio Tone was a skinny dude. He was there. And but I think it was the production, man. The production is everything. As long as you can rap, production is everything. I mean,
right.
You know, so I think it was the production and this new sound.
Right. Well, there it is, y'all. That's why the Click's Down and Dirty is the best album. FaceShawn straight out Portland, shouting out Vallejo, California. I'm Soren Baker, Unique Access, best albums.